Hey, and welcome to this episode of Matched Betting Uncovered, brought to you by ProfitDuel. We know you're probably here because, well, you're looking for that shortcut, right? The
Yeah,
efficient way, the risk-managed way to actually pull reliable profit from online sportsbooks.
that's exactly it. And
Yeah.
today, we're really diving deep into what you could call the cornerstone, the absolute foundation of the whole thing.
Okay.
We're not just defining matched betting, that technique for turning promotions into actual cash,
Yeah.
risk-free.
Right. We've covered the basics before.
Exactly. Today, it's laser focus on the very first essential step.
Yeah.
Really understanding and crucially executing what we call the qualifying bet.
The qualifying bet. Okay. And just as a super quick refresher for anyone maybe jumping in, the core idea of matched betting itself is always those two opposing bets. Yeah.
Correct. Always. You've got the back bet that's at your regular sports book saying something will happen, like, say, the Yankees win, and then the lay bet, usually at a betting exchange, saying that exact same thing won't happen. Yankees don't win. So you're covered either way. One of them has to pay out.
Gotcha. Covered regardless of the actual game outcome.
And that's vital to grasp because even this first step we're focusing on today, the qualifying bet, it uses that exact same back and lay mechanism. It's
Yeah.
basically the initial wager you have to make. It's designed purely to convince the sportsbook you're a regular customer, so they then give you the bonus, the free bet.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting for me, and I think where maybe beginners get a bit confused conceptually.
Mm-hmm.
If matched betting is basically this clever way to get the bonus money, why can't we just, rock up, sign up, and claim the freebie? Why this initial step? Why the qualifying bet?
Yeah, that's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? Or, well, hopefully the $100 question, profit-wise.
Huh.
But yeah, the qualifying bet, it isn't just about placing any bet. It's about compliance, essentially, and showing the sportsbook you're, potentially valuable customer. Think of it less as a bet and more like transaction fee almost.
A transactional requirement, not really a gamble.
Exactly. The sportsbook needs you to place this initial cash wager, the qualifying bet, for a couple of key reasons. Firstly, it often ties into their basic checks like KYC, know your customer stuff, proves you're real, active,
Standard stuff.
standard stuff. But secondly, and maybe more from their strategy side, it makes you look like a normal punter. Someone who might stick around, not just someone grabbing the bonus and running. So the QB is kind of like their filter.
A screening process before they hand out the valuable stuff, the promotional credit.
Precisely. So if their goal is to see a legit-looking customer placing a real money wager,
Then our goal is to place that required wager, but crucially, protect our stake completely while doing it.
you got it. That qualifying bet is the foundation.
Right.
You place it, it settles, and because you've matched it with that opposing lay bet, you haven't risked your capital.
And then boom, the sportsbook credits your account with the bonus bet, the thing we actually want.
That's the sequence. You unlock the promotion with that hedged QB, and that bonus bet becomes your source of future profit.
Okay, let's unpack the mechanics of that qualifying bet itself then. We're covering both sides, back and lay. How do we make absolutely sure those two bets balance out, perfectly, so we don't lose money or at least lose as little as possible?
Right.
Because just eyeballing odds at two different places, that sounds like, well, guesswork. Risky.
It would be. And that's where the tools come in, specifically the matched betting calculator. It's absolutely essential.
Secret sauce.
It really is. The difference between extracting profit efficiently and maybe just breaking even, or worse, it often comes down to getting those stakes calculated with, like, decimal point precision. The key is finding those two different places for the bets. The back bet at the sportsbook offering the promotion, and the lay bet at a separate betting exchange. Now, the exchange is where people bet against each other, and importantly, they charge a small commission on winnings.
Commission. And that's the little wrinkle, isn't it? That's mainly why it's not always a perfect zero loss on that first qualifying step.
That's one of the two main reasons, yeah. That commission, plus tiny differences that always exist between the back odds at the sportsbook and the lay odds at the exchange, they're rarely identical.
Okay. So the calculator handles that.
Exactly. It's indispensable because it takes all those factors into account. You feed it the numbers, and it tells you exactly what to do.
So what numbers does it need? If I, decided to skip the calculator, what am I missing? What's it calculating?
You'd be missing the most crucial bit, the exact stake amount for your hedge bet, the lay bet on the exchange.
Right.
The calculator needs, let's see, the back odds from the sports book, the lay odds from the exchange for the same outcome. how much you're staking on that initial back bet.
Your qualifying bet stake.
Correct. And critically, the commission rate to the exchange charges, usually a small percentage, like 2% or 5%.
Okay.
You plug those in, and bang, the calculator spits out the precise amount you need to stake on the lay bet to guarantee the smallest possible loss, often just pennies. It ensures your initial money is safe while you meet that QB requirement.
Okay, so we've mentioned protection, minimizing loss, but let's hit that question right on the head. Does this first step actually cost money? If we're hedging, why isn't it always zero?
Yeah, good question. And the honest answer is it usually does cost a tiny bit, a very small amount. We call it the qualifying loss.
Qualifying loss, okay.
And we're talking small here, maybe, 25 cents, maybe $1 on a larger bet sometimes. And it happens purely because of those slight odds differences we mentioned in that exchange commission.
Right, the cost of doing business almost.
That's a great way to put it. You're essentially paying a few cents for the certainty for the mechanism to work perfectly and unlock the bonus.
But wait, just to push on that a bit, if I do lose, say, 50 cents, how can we still call matched betting risk-free, even at this initial stage? Isn't that, well, a slight contradiction?
That's a really sharp point. It's risk-free in the sense that the outcome of the sports event becomes irrelevant to your overall cash position.
Ah, okay.
Before the game even starts, exactly how much that small qualifying loss will be. Maybe it's 50 cents, maybe it's 75 cents. It's fixed, calculated. You're not gambling on the result.
So the risk isn't zero loss, it's zero uncertainty about the loss.
Precisely. You've effectively paid a tiny known fee to acquire a much more valuable asset, which is the bonus bet the sportsbook gives you after this qualifying bet settles.
And that bonus bet could be worth what? $10, $50,
Yeah.
sometimes hundreds?
Easily. Bonuses can range from, maybe $10 up to, for some big sign-up offers, even several $1,000s. So that perspective really dwarfs the tiny qualifying loss.
Definitely puts that, 50-cent cost into sharp perspective. Okay, so the QB settles, game's over, win or lose doesn't matter to our hedge, and the sportsbook drops that bonus bet into our account. How do we turn that bonus, which isn't cash yet, into actual profit?
Right. This is where the money's made. It's essentially repeating the process. You find another event, another game, you do the back and lay bet again. But the key difference is how you place the bets this time, specifically using that bonus. You use the bonus bet credit for your back bet at the sportsbook.
Always the back bet with the bonus. Why specifically that way round? Why not use the bonus for the lay stake on the exchange?
Great question. It comes down to how nearly all sports books treat bonus bets or free bets. When you win a normal cash bet, you get your stake back plus your winnings.
Standard.
But when you win using a bonus bet stake, almost universally, the sportsbook keeps the stake amount. They only give you the winnings.
Oh, right. Stake not return, or SNR.
Exactly, SNR. So by placing the bonus stake the bookie's funny money on the back bet, you're risking their credit. Then you use your own cash for the lay bet on the exchange. This setup guarantees you lock in the highest possible percentage of that bonus's value as real cash profit.
That makes perfect sense. You're isolating their non-cash stake where the stake not return rule hurts the least.
Clever. Okay, let's shift gears slightly to strategy. Beyond just using the calculator, are there any little tweaks, things you can do to shrink that qualifying loss even further, maybe get it closer to zero?
Yeah, there are definitely optimizations, though the calculator handles the core math. Two main things help minimize that initial QL. First, actively look for selections where the back odds at the sportsbook and the lay odds at the exchange are really close together.
Tighter odds mean less difference to cover.
Exactly. The closer the match, mathematically, the lower the qualifying loss. Sometimes you can find matches so close the loss is literally pennies, or even zero in rare cases, especially if the exchange has a 0% commission offer running.
Okay, close odds. What's the second thing? The second is about efficiency on the exchange side of things.
Efficiency? What do you mean by that?
Two factors primarily: liquidity and commission. You want markets with high liquidity.
Meaning lots of money available.
Yes. It means there's enough money already waiting on the exchange at the odds you need, ready to match your lay bet instantly. If liquidity is poor, maybe it's an obscure market or event, you might struggle to get your full lay stake matched at the desired odds. That introduces uncertainty, potentially risk.
Right, you need someone on the other side to take your bet. And commission.
And commission, yeah. Simple enough. Different exchanges charge different commission rates. Finding an exchange with a lower commission percentage directly reduces your qualifying loss because they take a smaller slice.
Got it. Close odds, good liquidity, low commission. Makes sense. Now, this whole process sounds incredibly buttoned up, very calculated, but where do people still trip up? What's the biggest risk or pitfall specifically related to this qualifying bet stage?
Honestly, it's usually not the math, especially with the calculators. It's non-compliance. Yeah. Failing to read or fully understand the specific terms and conditions the TNCs for each individual sportsbook offer is absolutely critical, and it's where people sometimes slip up.
Oh, I can imagine. The dreaded fine print. You do everything else right, place the perfect hedge, but miss one little rule.
And a bonus just doesn't arrive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's probably the most common reason people don't get the free bet they were expecting after their QB.
So what are the typical traps in those TNCs? What are the common requirements people miss?
There are a few usual suspects. Minimum odds is a big one. The offer might say your qualifying bet must be placed at odds of, say, 1.50 or higher. You place it at 1.45 because the odds were really close.
Doesn't count. No bonus.
Correct. Then there are market restrictions. Some offers only apply to certain sports or certain types of bets, like maybe only match winner markets, not first goal scorer or something specific.
And then you've got things like maximum stake limits for the QB, or maybe time limits like the bet must be placed within 7 days of opening the account or settled within a certain time frame. Easy things to overlook if you're rushing.
Yeah, I actually knew someone who missed out on a decent bonus because the minimum odds were like 2.0 and they placed their bet at 1.95, just didn't double check that one specific line in the TNCs. All that effort calculating the hedge, poof, gone.
That's a perfect, painful example. It really illustrates why meticulousness isn't optional here. You can nail the calculation, find amazing odds, find great liquidity, but if you miss the fine print that says qualifying bet must be placed within 48 hours of deposit and you wait 3 days, you get nothing.
So checking those TNCs isn't just a suggestion. It's like rule number 1, non-negotiable.
Absolutely. Rule 0, maybe. It guarantees the whole reason you're placing the QB, getting that free bet, actually happens.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here? The qualifying bet. It's that first necessary step, isn't it? It's the calculated move you make. It satisfies the bookie's need to see you as an active customer. But for us, using the matched betting technique, it's the key. The completely risk-managed key that unlocks the door to their bonus offers, which is where the real profit comes from.
Exactly. Get the qualifying bet right, the calculation, the hedge, and crucially, the TNCs, and you've basically secured that high-value asset, the bonus bet, for minimal known cost.
It's the gateway.
It absolutely is. And maybe a final thought for you to mull over. While we focus a lot, quite rightly, on minimizing that tiny qualifying loss, those few cents or maybe $1.
Yeah.
Just step back and consider the sheer asymmetry of it. You're risking, what, maybe less than the cost of a coffee to unlock something that could easily be worth 50, 100, even hundreds or thousands of dollars in profit potential.
Pennies for potential dollars.
Exactly. When you frame it like that, it completely changes how you think about risk and this whole strategy, doesn't it? It's less about avoiding loss and more about incredibly efficient acquisition.
That's a great perspective to end on. Paying pennies for dollars. That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.